From the NMSU Department of Journalism and Media Studies in collaboration with KRWG, this is the student-produced News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bodie Fogden.
And I'm Mikey Tonko. A driver is accused of dragging a man with a car and punching a motorist in a road rage spree before he was shot and wounded by an El Paso police officer.
33-year-old Angel Wolfgang Treviso was booked into jail on February 9th after being treated and released from the hospital. He faces charges of assault, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against a public servant, and evading arrest with a vehicle. As of Tuesday, February 18th, Treviso remains in jail under a total bond of $185,000. At least 2 people are dead after 2 small airplanes collided mid-air in Marana, Arizona, northwest of Tucson.
The NTSB says 2 people were on board each of the planes. Police say 2 people did survive, but their conditions are unknown. The NTSB and the FAA are investigating the incident. The collision is the latest in a string of aviation incidents, including last month's deadly mid-air collision at Ronald Reagan National Airport near Washington, D.C., which left 67 people dead. Well, it's been a really cold and windy week, but Ben, what do you have for us for weather?
Well, for the most part, this week was cold and windy, but right now today was beautiful. It's a beautiful night right outside Milton Hall on the NMSU campus. Taking a look at today's current temperatures, we're hovering around the 61-degree region, which is pretty solid for this time of year at the moment. Currently, the winds are blowing at about 7 miles per hour, blowing south to north, Currently, the dew point is sitting at 16 degrees. It is very dry, though. The humidity is coming in at a mere 28%, with the barometer reading 30.11. Taking a look at currently taking a look, our high today was at 66, just a bit above the average of 65 and a little colder than last year's of 73. And low today was about 35 degrees. Back in 1999, we had a high of 80 degrees and a low of 17 degrees in 1964. There was no rain, so it's still standing at 0.05 inches. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Ben. New Mexico Representative Melanie Stansberry is encouraging Republican representatives to stand against Elon Musk and DOGE, the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. Stansberry claims that Musk has illegal access to information like Social Security, a criminal act for those without authority.
But it's very clear that there is no American that I have met that believes that a private billionaire who has significant conflicts of interest and millions and billions of dollars in federal contracts should have access to private treasury payment systems, to your private IRS and business information, to your Social Security information. And we don't even know what he's using this data for. In fact, the folks who actually investigate waste, fraud, and abuse are the inspector generals, and Donald Trump fired them all on his first week.
As part of the Trump administration government layoffs, at least 13 employees at the Gila National Forest have been fired. The reason for the firings was given as the performance issues, despite having good performance reviews. The Forest Service is expected to undergo large cutbacks that could hurt Grant County because the Forest Service is a major employer in the community. The fired employees were part of the crew in charge of the trail and campground maintenance in the Gila. There's also worry firefighting crews will be cut.
Dancing isn't just about movement, it's about bringing people together.
In downtown Las Cruces back in December, Baila Las Cruces held its final event of the year, offering free dance lessons and a chance to celebrate the culture and music of our community.
Forward, 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 tap, back, back, tap.
Terry Jameson, a lead instructor from Soul Ballroom, has spent months sharing his love of dance with the Las Cruces community. His goal is to make sure everyone from complete beginners to seasoned dancers feels welcome on the dance floor.
What amazes me is, we start out, there are very few people here, but then pretty quickly people hear the music and they just want to have a good time and they all show up and we get a big crowd and it's happened every time we've had this event out here. So it just really brings the community together.
And for participants like Sharon Bunker, the event is more than just a lesson. It's a chance to connect with the community and embrace the vibrant culture of Las Cruces.
Quick drink here.
It's fun and you get to meet new people, so I guess it does build a good feeling of community.
Events like this show how art and culture can transform a space what's usually a quiet downtown plaza becomes a live hub of music, dance, and connection. Whether you're here to dance or just soak in the energy, it's a night worth the experience. Bringing the community together has always been a key focus, and it's clear these events continue to grow each year.
Thank you, everybody.
So this is our 13th time that we've been out here, and every time it seems to be growing. So I really like that we brought more community out here. And actually, we're partnering with the Latin American programs at NMSU to potentially continue the collaboration into next year. So stay tuned for more information on Baila. Even though this is the last one of this year, there's probably going to be some next year.
Baila Las Cruces is hosted by Visit Las Cruces. Free dance lessons are followed by open dancing, where participants can show off their new moves. It's all set in the heart of Plaza Las Cruces, surrounded by food trucks and local businesses, adding to the lively atmosphere. Terry Jameson says it's a way to inspire a love for movement and community, bringing people together one step at a time. Miguel Montenegro, News 22.
And Bodhi, we both have dance backgrounds. You can never be in a bad mood when you're dancing. Stay tuned. Ben will be back with your national forecast.
But first, a rare fish was spotted on a Mexican beach, and legend says this fish brings disaster. More on that when News 22 continues.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Rick Steves. Join me for Experiencing Europe, my up-to-date talk about European travel skills. I'll share all the latest information and skills needed for a great trip to Europe.
Helping people plan their
including
trips.
Planning, packing, eating, sleeping, and avoiding crowds. It's an essential and entertaining program for anyone planning or even dreaming about a trip to Europe.
Saturday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters. An oarfish was spotted along the Baja California Sur beach in Mexico earlier this month. The oarfish, also known as the doomsday fish, is typically a deep sea dweller, and many are wondering what the rare sighting of the sea creature means. In Japanese folklore, seeing the oarfish in shallow waters means natural disaster is coming. There were 3 separate oarfish sightings in 2024, but all were dead. Scientists can't give an exact reason why there have been more frequent sightings, but say each one gives them an opportunity to learn more about the species.
A natural disaster would be pretty crazy. What can you tell us about that, Ben?
Well, most of the country is going through an extremely dangerous cold front right now. The only places immune currently are the southwest, here in the southwest, and in southern Florida. But if you look at the northern Rockies, it is going to be below freezing. It's going to get down to negative 12 degrees in Glacier National Park. And even throughout New England, it's not really going to go above the 20s, and that's kind of going to extend throughout the country. If we go along to our next map to take a look at the precipitation around the country, we can see our 2 main problem areas. One of them is going to be here in kind of the eastern Pacific Northwest throughout Idaho, in eastern Washington and Oregon. And if we can go to the next map, we're going to get going on one of our other areas of heavy precipitation. So this is relating to Winter Storm Kingston. And currently we can see that it's going to be very snowy and a lot of ice throughout both of the Carolinas. Right now, South Carolina is mostly going to get rain, but along the outer banks of North Carolina, there is going to be a lot of snow and ice, and it is going to go up into Virginia and Virginia Beach and in that area. And if we can go to the next map, that's not the only area affected by Winter Storm Kingston. We can see over here in the Ohio Valley and the Midwest, they're also going to be getting a lot of snow over the next 24 hours. It is going to pass. However, currently, tonight it is going to snow a lot in Appalachia and Kentucky. It's going to snow a lot in Ohio, and then it's going to work its way over to Pennsylvania. This is part of Winter Storm Kingston. It's been going throughout the country relating to the recent cold front that we have been going through. There has been a lot of travel delays through airports and stuff. Hopefully this ends soon. All right, I'll be back with your local temps after this.
on Paul the midwife.
Excuse me, that's my car. Well, according to this, it belongs to Elwood Estates.
Do we know of a nurse with the surname Warren?
Are you looking for someone? I got us into this mess. Please let me redeem myself.
Thursday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
It's the annual Movies for Grown-Ups Awards with AARP The Magazine. Join host Alan Cumming and Career Achievement Award winner Glenn Close as we celebrate the best in TV and film.
We are in for a great night.
On great performances.
Sunday at 6 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Two funny women? I'm not entirely sure the public are going to wear that.
Me and your mum had a lovely little chat. You're meant to be the girl next door. That's a lie.
She's gone off script. Oh my God.
This story is mine, and no one is going to tell it but me.
Sunday at 9:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
So taking a look at our local temperatures, tonight at Farmington, it is going to be about 47 degrees and cloudy. One of the big story is the massive cold front in the eastern part of New Mexico. Clovis at 18 degrees and Roswell at 25. There might even be a little bit of snow tonight in Roswell, which is interesting. Throughout the southern half of the state, though, it's mostly going to stay in the 60s. Las Cruces at 62 and Deming also coming in at 62. So if we take a look at tomorrow's temperatures, it is going to heat up across the board across the state. Clovis is going to go all the way up to 30 degrees. Roswell is going to go up to 37. Deming is almost going to be in the 70s tomorrow. Albuquerque is going to be at 64. Cruces is going to be 65, and once again, Deming is going to come in at a nice 69 degrees. So if we're going to take a look at Alamogordo, it's going to be clear skies tonight, low of 27. It's going to be a little bit cloudy tomorrow, go in at 60 degrees. Then if we can move on to T or C, once again, very clear skies. That's kind of going to be the story of the night for most of the state. Very clear skies, very clear. Tonight and tomorrow, it's going to be 67 degrees tomorrow as a high. Moving on to Silver City, it's going to be 34 degrees, 62 degrees tomorrow. Once again, very clear skies. And then if we go on to the city of Cruces, Las Cruces, New Mexico, it's going to come in at 35 degrees tonight and 65 degrees tomorrow with a little bit of clouds. Back to the desk.
The Lunar New Year is upon us, and students at NMSU had the chance to celebrate with their friends and family.
The Asian and Pacific Islander program hosted a Lunar New Year festival on January 29th for students on the NMSU campus. Lunar New Year is an annual celebration recognized by many Asian communities. The traditional dragon dance is the most well-known part of the event. It signifies a new start and is celebrated with friends and family over food, music, and dancing, and bring the community together. An event like this helps make students feel welcomed and included.
We're really connected in the different things that we do, no matter how differently we celebrate them.
More than 100 people showed up to celebrate. Sponsors expect to repeat the event next year. We'll be back with more news after the break. But first, coming up in sports, the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics is less than a year away, and Olympic hopefuls are on the ice this week in Seoul, South Korea. Don't go too far because News22 Sports is next.
Welcome to Milk Street's My Family Recipe. We bring home cooks to our Boston studio where, along with our host and pastry chef Cheryl Day, we help home cooks rediscover lost family recipes.
You're going to be able to bake this cake.
I can do it.
Then we send them home to recreate that recipe for the toughest audience, their own family.
Mom, that's really good.
Right here on Milk Street's My Family Recipe.
Friday at 2:30 on KRWG Public Media.
I'm Sherry Castle. Welcome to a whole new season of The Key Ingredient. You're gonna love this. It is one of my favorite sweet potato recipes I have ever made. So good. I've got a brand new list of my favorite ingredients. I've got culinary buddies coming over to show me how they prepare those ingredients. And then I brought it all back to my kitchen where I'm gonna make my favorite recipes. Join me.
Friday at 2 on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News22 Sports.
For the win! He got it!
Welcome back. I'm Mikey Tonko, and let's talk sports. New Mexico State wrapped up its 4-game homestand with St. Thomas on Monday afternoon at the Presley Askew Field. The Aggies held a 4-1 lead through the 7th inning, but a hard-fought 8th inning would prove too much for the Aggies to overcome as Minnesota's St. Thomas Tommies earned a 7-5 win in the series finale. Monday's outing was the Aggies' lowest scoring game of the 4-game series after scoring 7, 10, and 9 runs in the previous 3 games against the Tommies. Now, from the baseball field to the golf course for the second time this season, an Aggie has played his way to an individual title. Ethan Cruces earned the individual crown at the Border Olympics hosted by the University of Houston at the Laredo Country Club. Cruces ultimately finished the week at 5 under to earn the victory over number 50 Hunter Thompson of Michigan. Fellow Aggie Aiden Thomas also turned in a top 10 finish as he finished at even par to end the week in a tie for 6th place. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Ben will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
It would be easy to describe this show as a show about things, but you learn a lot about what we are as people.
I love the road show. I've been wanting to come to the road show for years, and I got the opportunity to be here today, and I wasn't going to miss it for anything.
Across the country, at every stop we make, people make Antiques Roadshow possible.
It's not about the money. I think it's about the story. You know, we have things in our homes and they bring back memories for us.
And we know that Antiques Roadshow will find the interests and the history and the knowledge that we want preserved.
It's a wonderful experience, it really is, because you're not a number or an object, you are part of this roadshow family.
Call, text, or go online to give to this PBS station now.
Welcome back to News 22 Wednesday. Let's take a look at our top stories.
An El Paso driver is accused of dragging a man with a car and punching a motorist on a road rage spree. He faces charges of aggravated assault, among others. Las Cruces Parks and Rec is sponsoring Baila Las Cruces in the downtown plaza. Instructor Terry Jameson wants to make sure everyone feels welcome on the dance floor. And one fish that showed up on a beach in Mexico may be a bad omen. Japanese folklore says the oarfish in shallow waters means natural disaster is coming.
Well, taking a look at your 5-day forecast, other than tomorrow when it'll be a little bit cloudy, it's going to be very sunny and it'll get hotter as the days go by, and that's all I got for your forecast.
Thanks, Ben. And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow night for more news, but don't go anywhere.
Because Marin Gregory is next with Noticias 22 en Español. I'm Bodie Fogden.
And I'm Mikey Tonko. Good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, la información más completa de Nuevo México, El Paso y la frontera. Noticias 22.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo soy Marin Gregory y gracias por continuar en Noticias 22. Un hombre fue detenido tras haber sido acusado de arrastrar a otro hombre con su auto. De acuerdo a la policía de El Paso, un hombre de 33 años que estaba intoxicado, Ángel Wolfgang Treviso, tocó la puerta de un desconocido y le preguntó: ¿Tu cerca de madera está pintado con sangre? La víctima respondió: pues es roja, pero solo es pintura. El acusado Treviso dijo: espero que no sea sangre, porque si es, tu familia va a morir. Después la víctima siguió a Treviso hacia su carro mientras tomaba fotos. Luego Treviso agarró a fuerza al víctima y comenzó a manejar a su auto mientras arrastraba al víctima. Treviso continuó con más altercados vehiculares. La policía de El Paso enfrentaron a Treviso en la intersección de Sunland Park y Mesa y le dispararon 2 veces cuando Treviso intentó atropellar uno de los policías con su auto. Treviso está encarcelada esperando su condena y tiene una fianza de casi $200,000. Esto es todo por mi parte. Que tengan buenas noches y nos vemos mañana.